My go-to presentation makeup, here it is. After skin prep, I start out with a blurring primer. This one is from Rare Beauty. I tap it in on the pores. I don't put it all over because I'm just using this to blur. And I always color correct. You don't necessarily have to color correct. The orange right over here. Blend it out in the center. I don't want too much creasing on the smile line. Set that color corrector with a powder that's your skin tone. This one is from Milani. I do like to use an actual foundation just because that is what will perfect the skin the most. My go-to is still the Haus Labs. I will say Natasha Denona is coming really close to being my new go-to. Start with a brush. After I kind of blend it all out, I like to go in with a sponge and just tap it in. This just helps to really push it in. For concealer, I really just always use my Colfi Beauty one. This is my favorite concealer. Putting it where I want the face to look a little bit brighter and in the center, not on the smile lines, because again, it will crease. Just blending that out. Going with that sponge to blend everything together. I like to go in with some sort of bronzer just to add dimension. So this is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. Lasts the longest out of any bronzer stick I have, and also the pigment and like finish blends so easily. For blush, I honestly don't really have a go-to. Put it a little bit closer to the eye and the higher points. That way it just looks a little bit more professional. This one is just from ColourPop. Really close to the eye and then blending it down slightly, but most of the color is right there. Blend out any creases before powder. Loose setting powder, my go-to is always from Lunar Beauty. Use one that has a little bit more coverage. So this one's like a banana brightening shade on the pores and the smile lines. Not really going too much to the cheeks part because I want the blush and bronzer to stay, but just anywhere where I know it's gonna get dewy, and that's normally about the forehead area, the pores, and then the smile lines, of course, under the eyes. Powder bronzer, like you can apply it if you want. I don't always do it just because I think it's a little bit too harsh. Then I typically just go in with the powder blush. You can use any one. I'm gonna use the Tower 28 one just because it's a really pretty color. Exactly where I put the cream one. So starting here and then blending down. Into overblush, just because that means the blush will last super long and it will last with the day. So as this wears down, you'll see that color come through. Obviously, I don't want it to look too red, too blushy. So I do go in with a powder, Charlotte Tilbury powder, and just kind of blend the edges. Not directly on the blush. You're gonna cover it up. So just doing the edges helps to blend it out. Just take the one size powder foundation and just put it a little bit on the neck wherever I need coverage. A little bit of highlighter. I always do. You don't have to if you don't like highlighter. And I just put it on the high points because I think it just helps to elevate a little bit on the nose. You can kind of adjust. Like I'm gonna add a little bit more blush. For setting sprays, I take two. I start with the Charlotte Tilbury. Go in with a little bit of one size just because I need this to be locked. A little bit of a brow pencil. Rare Beauty brow gel is the best and this will last all day. After doing mascara, a little tip I like to do is actually take a brown eyeliner and just put it in the inner corner. Tight line a bit. A lot more professional. I always like to do a little bit of lipstick. You don't have to, but I'm gonna go with the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This lipstick, clean up just with your concealer brush. I'm a gloss person, so I always take a little bit of gloss. This is Fenty Beauty Heat in the shade Fussy. Last step for complexion is always just a little bit of finishing powder. It's kind of my secret. Wherever I need it to stay matte, especially the pores and T-zone. With that, you have your presentation makeup ready. It's gonna look really professional. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day.